Welcome to the Crypto Sheikhs Podcast. I'm your host, Anas. I'm here with my main man, Big D. How's it going, Danosh?
What's up, people? So we're here today with the Helicon NFT team, Tom Palmer, Tom and Tim in the house. nice to have you in the studio, guys.
Yeah, we're really happy to have the Helicon NFT team with us here today. They are producing an incredibly interesting project. Before we talk about that, actually, we're actually going to be with them next week at the Abu Dhabi Blockchain Week. So Danosh and I are going to be speaking there. We're going to be paneling a number of discussions. Helicon NFTs are actually a big sponsor of this event. And we can't wait to see what happens next week.
That's awesome. We're excited to have you guys there. Can't wait.
It's going to be really cool. There's going to be like a Bitcoin giveaway. There's going to be competitions, panels, discussions, rap battles. Correct. It's going to be really, really cool.
It's going to be one hell of an event. Exactly.
This is the Crypto Sheikhs. This is the leading podcast in Dubai and the UAE, where you, regardless of your skill level, will learn everything from cryptocurrencies to blockchain technologies.
So, Helicon NFT, just a little brief introduction. My understanding is you guys are building a new kind of play to earn kind of game, token, DeFi. There's a lot of different things here. It's very exciting. Maybe you could give us a little lowdown on, what's this project all about?
Yeah, sure. So, you touched on quite a lot of things that we're working on. What we like to say is that we are a all-encompassing ecosystem. So in that means that we are a DeFi, we are an NFT, we are a gaming ecosystem. All of these things combined is what we're working on. So there's a lot of projects out there that are working on these things individually. We're bringing them all together under one Helicon NFT banner. So in that, we're creating an NFT marketplace where in-game assets will be able to be bought and sold and traded. We're also going to work directly with developers of games in order to turn their existing games into a blockchain and NFT-enabled game, which is quite exciting because at the moment, most of the games today are blockchain games that have been built in order to work with blockchain from the ground up. What's really exciting about all of this stuff is if you're able to take games like Fortnite, all of the Ubisoft titles and start using NFTs with those as well. So in order to, the games that you will play and love, you don't have to switch away to a blockchain version of that game. Ultimately, in the future, is what we're aiming for. So we are launching a token, a governance token alongside all of that, and that's how people will purchase these NFTs through our system. We're also going to have passive earning income opportunities with liquidity mining pools. Also setting up a decentralized autonomous organization. We want the gamers to give us their voice.
The DAOs are here.
Exactly. The DAOs are here and the gamers are very vocal about what they want and we love it. So we want to make sure that they get exactly what they want out of the games because up until now, in order to put money into a game, you can't take it back out. If you want to switch over to a new game because you got bored, for example, Tim will be able to tell us all about this because he plays a million different games all the time.
Yeah, I do.
So there are a lot of big concepts here, and for our audience, we'd like to break them down a little bit so that all these really high-level technical terms, want to keep them simple. So maybe we start with the one of the key buzzwords in the industry right now: play to earn. Right? You guys are creating another kind of play to earn gaming platform or game itself, right? And so the biggest one that we all know of is obviously Axie Infinity. That's the one that's really made the industry famous now, and I think they're up like 202,000% in 1 year.
Yeah,
I'm really sad I missed out on some of those some of the gains there, but I did pick it up afterwards.
Right.
But maybe you can tell us a little bit more about what it means to be creating a play to earn game.
You're probably best to answer that one, aren't you, with the gamers side of things?
Yeah, the thing is, obviously, play to earn is play to earn's already a sort of an established term because there's, like you said, Axie Infinity, and there's any number of games that are trying to do either something similar or beat it or have their own unique twist. I think the thing about play to earn is really less about what the game is or the genre or it's really more of a philosophy. The idea is, if you think about microtransactions and in-game purchases and DLC, that's been going on for a long time. And I think in next couple of years, it's going to be almost $100+ billion business. And play to earn is really about, making sure some of that money gets back into the pockets of the gamers. because they invest all their time, their money, and their time and their creativity is valuable for the game, right? So when I play a game and I'm spending a lot of time with others, I may know them, I may not know them, I may be a modder, I'm building games, I'm making cosmetics. That is providing a revenue to the developers and the publishers who created those games. And so we just want to create a model that allows the gamers to invest their time and creativity and earn a little money from that. So I think play to earn really just means that you're rewarded for what you put in. That's pretty much it.
Correct.
It's a quite interesting concept because I mean I started gaming with Counter-Strike.
Oh yeah.
I was a big Counter-Strike player.
Internet cafes.
Yeah, I literally was going there in the morning and coming back at night. And if I knew back then that I would be able to earn money by playing,
right,
I probably wouldn't have slept anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
So do you think this play to earn? Well, first of all, I think the profits that all these big gaming companies are doing now, like Ubisoft, they're gonna get reduced by giving away part of that profit to the gamers. But do you think that the gaming industry as a whole will grow because of play to earn?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, well, actually, what we're planning on doing is not taking anything away from what these developers and publishers have created. We're adding a new revenue stream to what they already have. So in that, when we create these in-game assets, these NFTs within their game that have functions within their game, and people start buying and selling and trading, that developer is able to set a royalty mechanic, a royalty fee per asset. So every time an asset from their game is bought and sold, they're taking a percentage of that. So not only is the gamer earning money from those assets, but actually the publishers and developers will be earning a new revenue stream on top of what they're already doing.
Just so the audience just notes, this is one of the key innovations of NFTs, right? An NFT allows the creator to effectively earn royalties, i.e. a percentage of any subsequent sale of that NFT. So in the art world right now, for example, on OpenSea or on Foundation, an artist can reserve 12% or an OpenSea 2.5%, whatever it is. Sure. So every time it's subsequently sold, you get revenue from that.
You're still earning from it, yeah.
And what's quite interesting, and maybe people don't know this, the minting of NFTs, the actual creation of them, normally that raises a good sum of money, right? And people are really focused on the mint. But it's actually the royalties afterwards that actually results in huge returns. So the Bored Ape Yacht Club, for example, I think they raised something like $2 to $3 million on the mint, but you wouldn't believe it that they raised close to 50 million or plus on the royalties that came afterwards.
Yeah.
So what this tells me, and what's really important here, is that royalties only come through when there's real value. Right? So those projects that are creating high quality, long-term value, those are the ones that really result in. So games like Axie Infinity right now, they're really seeing that kind of value. And hopefully we'll see the same thing with Helicon NFTs, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really good way of putting it, actually. One of the exciting parts of that royalty mechanics is being able to attach physical items to NFTs these days as well. So outside of this, I'm a mechanic as well because I just love cars. And I always give the example of, if I go and buy a car in New York, because classic cars everywhere, in America, and I rebuild it myself, I can sell that car as an NFT. But the NFT, along with the physical car, would be sold to the buyer. However, when he sells it to Tim or the next person afterwards, I'm still getting 10% of that sale because of the NFT that sells afterwards. Exactly. So it's really fascinating, and it's only the beginning as well. So people are only just discovering new ways to use NFTs through campaigns and physical items attached to it as well. So for example, if we are to launch a blockchain esports tournament in the future, you can give physical prizes away with NFTs alongside that, or you can even mint NFTs specifically for that tournament and give it away as a one of one. So therefore it's unique, it's valuable, no one else can get it because that player won the tournament by skill, by being good at the game, quite simply.
Brilliant.
Cool. So Tom, I was privileged enough to see the preview of the game that you guys showed me at your offices, and the game, to be honest, it looked really cool. I mean, if I was a gamer, I would love to try it out. Now, can you tell me what is Helicon NFT to the listeners if they want to get into it? What is it and how do they get into it?
Yeah, so Helicon NFT, we're an all-encompassing ecosystem to do with NFT, DeFi, and gaming. So anyone that wants to get involved with us as a gamer, we're going to be we're aggregating existing games. We're building our own game from the ground up. But most importantly, we're to start off with and engaging our community, we're running multiple campaigns at the moment, some esports tournaments to engage the gaming community as well. And we have a whitelist open up at the moment for a mystery box event. So that will be the sort of first interaction people will have with our token and with the NFTs that will have functions within our games in the future as well.
What's the mystery box? What can someone expect from that mystery box event?
Well, marketing manager, what do you think we're going to get from it?
I don't want to give too much away, otherwise it's not really a mystery, right?
Yeah.
But the idea is to really, one, give sort of those who sign up the opportunity to kind of see what we're doing and get an idea of, you know, what we're promising and what we're selling. But ultimately, it's NFTs, but that can be used within games. Think of them as collectible items. Now, how they're used in individual games, we leave down to the developers, because we don't want to step on the toes of the developers. Their projects are their projects, right? But what we can do is we want to give community members opportunity to sort of get a mystery NFT and, you know, have a stake in the ecosystem the moment it goes live.
Yeah.
So when you start off, the moment, you know, the ecosystem's live, the moment you can start playing, you've already got something. I think a good way to explain it is if I'm sure you guys are all familiar with like Twitch Prime, Amazon Prime, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they've obviously got a subscription model where every month they give away different games, give you different cosmetics, different skins, all kinds of things. And a lot of times people start playing games because they got skins for a game they've never played before. Like, hey, I mean, this really cool skin, I'm going to go try it. So what we're doing is we're saying, you know, this is our like, it's like throwing flies at people, but they have value. You know, it's not just something you chuck away. It's something that has value that can be used in games.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the game itself that you guys are building?
Yeah, sure. So we're going to be building a game called Helicon Titan. We are building it from the ground up in order to work with our system. And, you know, it's going to be a multiplayer game. There's going to be PvE. There's going to be PvP elements as well.
Can you define those terms?
Yeah, so PvE would be like you or your team would go up against one of the characters in game, one of the muses, one of the gods that you have to fight against in order to progress. And then PvP would be me fighting against Tim's team, for example.
Right.
And, you know, we're building it to work with NFTs and blockchain specifically as well. So, you know, each item that your character has, for example, would be an NFT that you can upgrade.
Wonderful.
And, you know, most importantly as well, an NFT, for those who don't know, you know, non-fungible means you can't change it. It's proof of ownership and you can't change it. So, however, we're going in with the developers and through our game add-on system that we're developing, you can add functions to those NFTs. So in doing so, it's still an NFT that can't be changed. However, if I go and stake that two NFTs together along with an in-game currency, I would receive a higher value NFT in return, and then the original ones would be destroyed, for example.
The game is sort of like, when I hear Titan, it's sort of like that World of Warcraft kind of idea, right? It's a mass multi sort of online role-playing kind of game, and you've got your characters, your avatars in the game. You have, like you said, various skins, weapons, things like that, each of which have different levels of rarity.
Right.
You know, all of that contributes effectively to, you know, the FOMO. If you're a gamer and you see someone else who has that higher quality rare item, that's where maybe, you know, for example, the Axie, that's what you see there, right? People are bidding for the top Axies, right, because those Axies are the ones producing the most amount of revenue because they're winning, etc. Is that a similar concept, sort of, you know, in your game?
Yeah, I think the main difference is because of how adaptable we've made the API. What we've done is we've really given them any developer for our own games as well, is kind of like keys to the castle, and we've said, here's all the features that are available to you. Use the ones that you feel fit. And so in Axie Infinity and other NFT games, the thing that makes something rare or valuable is the fact there's only so many of them. But that's by design, right? So the developers say, we're going to make this many of this particular NFT. That's what makes it rare. But for us, because we've allowed NFTs to evolve and change as you play them, the thing that makes your NFT rare is that even if you have the same armor set as another player, they haven't done the same battles as you. They haven't traded with the same people as you. They haven't maybe spent as much time, you know, working on it. So the thing that makes yours valuable is the fact that it's unique. Because in order for someone else to have that, they would have to recreate the same game time. They would have to make the same choices, and no one does that, right? So yes, you could have a super ultra rare piece of armor, and someone else might, but yours is still different to theirs because you've beaten the boss they haven't, or you've traded it with someone else they haven't, or you compete in a tournament. So why not, when you compete in a tournament, why shouldn't we allow you to say, stick a stamp and say, I've competed in this tournament onto your armor set and make it unique?
Let's move on to some of the other features of your game. So what's interesting is you mentioned you've got liquidity providers, you've got staking, you've got yield aggregators. Maybe you can kind of explain to us how that's integrated into your game.
Yeah, sure. So that's all part of our marketplace, all part of the ecosystem. But the yield aggregator essentially is a liquidity mining pool. We have 9 of them.
Let's define that.
Okay. We'll define that before I tell you we have 9 different ones.
Liquidity mining and the pool.
Yeah, liquidity mining pool. So what a liquidity mining pool is essentially where people get our token from. So the majority of our token, our Helicon Drachma token is what it's called, or HDT for short. There'll be 81% of our overall supply, which is 100 billion tokens, will be released into 9 pools, distributed evenly across 9 pools. We chose 9 because we are Greek-themed, and we're named after Mount Helicon from ancient Greek, where Zeus put his 9 muses who were in control of all of the art in the world, so poetry, music, and such. Yeah, so that's where our sort of story comes from. The reason we have 9 is because we're giving people a lot more opportunity to earn through passive income opportunities. So, for example, if I wanted to earn HDT from these liquidity mining pools, I would go on Uniswap. You would then stake HDT with USDT, and you would receive something called liquidity provider token in return. What that does is lock up our token and then increase the liquidity of it out there in the market. So it takes some of it out of circulation. You would then use those LP tokens to stake in the mining pools. And however long you do that for, you would receive proportional rewards for that. Now, one of the most exciting parts about all of that is you and I can buy something what we call a master NFT. So it's not actually an NFT, it's more of a smart contract. But what it allows you to do is own one of these pools for 24 hours. And why would you want to own the pools? Is that you get 5% of all mining rewards that happens within that pool over the course of 24 hours. And then what we call regular NFTs, which is the in-game assets that are ported from the game into our marketplace. When those are sold, those are automatically categorized to one of these 9 pools in order to balance the values of each pools. And so when Tim sells his NFT on our marketplace that's categorized to my pool, I get 1% of that sale as the master NFT holder. So this is where the passive earning income opportunities come from, and that's where the liquidity pool fits into place.
I just love what you guys are doing here, because this is in many ways captures the philosophy of Web3, right? Yes. In the Web2 world, I don't know, have you guys heard of Jack Butcher? He's behind a project called Visualize Value. And very recently he posted this thing where he has this image of 3,000 likes versus 3,000 ETH. So in the Web2 world, the value, the content, whatever you do, what do you get? You get likes, all right? You get that validation of some sort.
Absolutely.
But in this world, in the Web3 world, your contributions, your creations, your creativity is rewarded with value, right? Ethereum, and so what you guys are doing, you're taking your community and you're saying to them, come and join us, play our games. We're not just going to give you validation and fun. We're not just going to give you dopamine. We're going to give you shares in earning. We're going to give you a fun experience.
Absolutely.
We're also, so you can play, you can earn, there are various ways of earning. You can generate passive income. You can find financial freedom.
Absolutely, yeah. So even if you don't play games, there's ways that you can interact with us and benefit from it. And that's one of the most exciting things that we're launching here. Because, when it comes to these decentralized autonomous organizations, essentially what we're doing here, anyone who has our token or is integrating with a game that is on our platform, they're a stakeholder in Helicon NFT. And in doing so, we want the stakeholders to have a voice. We want them to have a say in what's going on. And that's why through our system, they'll be able to raise proposals, be it on the game, be it on how the liquidity pools are balanced, be it on just suggestions on what we could be doing better. You would use HDT to raise that proposal. So there's a burning mechanism in that as well for our token. And then people would vote on that.
I love that.
So you would raise a proposal, say, hey, I think this game should do this. I think that's a great idea. And so does Tim. So we'll vote on your proposal. And by the end of it, if yours wins, if you get the most votes on that, we would reward you for raising that proposal. And not only that, we would integrate your suggestion into the platform itself. So really, once we release, once we're fully out there, once we've released our project, we're not actually in charge of it anymore.
Nope.
And that's the point. We don't want to be in charge of it anymore. We're offering people the tools to go out there and play the games that they want and earn what they want from those games, and make the suggestions on how the platform should operate.
So the platform today seems like a very complex in the sense of it's very well thought through.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen your whitelist; it's very thorough.
The white paper?
Not the whitelist, the white paper. Yeah, I saw the white paper.
Yeah.
And looking at that, it feels like this has been masterminded. Like, how did this idea come about, and who was the mastermind behind it?
Yeah, I could probably take that. Well, we've got a team in Australia who've been in blockchain for many years now. They've launched very successful projects before in the past. And I'll be honest, they're the ones who came up with the idea because they're a lot smarter than I am when it comes to blockchain. The reason we got brought into it was from our gaming experience. So we launched the Insomnia Gaming Festivals out here in Dubai and in Saudi Arabia in 2019. Very successfully, I might add, if I do say so myself. Unfortunately, the next year we had COVID, so we couldn't do these events again. So we started looking at ways that we could sort of create a hybrid version, perhaps like a physical element along with a virtual event of these shows. And in doing so, we sort of came across the idea of the metaverse and where that was leading to. And we got brought into Helicon for, in order to give the gamers what they want, bring in the right gaming partnerships, publishers, and all of that. And then it sort of just evolved into us being full-time blockchain workers now. And it's been a crash course. I mean, there's so much to learn and so much is being developed at such a fast rate that, we have to do our own research on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. And we recommend that everyone else does their own research as well. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to, for example, decentralized, wallets, if you have a problem with your wallet or you send it to the wrong address, no one's going to help you.
Yeah.
Because that's on you.
There's no customer service.
There's no customer service. There's no way to retrieve it. And that's the point of blockchain. But you do need to make sure that what you're doing is being well thought out and being careful. So that's why we are being as transparent as we can be. That's why we're active on Discord. That's why we're answering any questions, even if they're the difficult ones. Because we want to make sure that, a lot of questions that get raised are ones that we haven't been asked before. So it helps us as well.
Yeah.
I forgot to ask a very important question, but what blockchain is your gaming platform built on?
So we're built on layer 2 Ethereum.
Oh, wonderful. Okay.
And I think I can confirm that it's because it has been sort of made public, is that we'll be working with the Arbitrum network.
Oh,
yeah.
Very nice.
I mean, the decision we made there was Ethereum's, it's got mass adoption and it's got a lot of useful features, but at the moment it has gas fee issues, and what we wanted to do is kind of give you the best of both worlds, and so that's why we chose.
Absolutely, yeah. And then also, just off the back of that, Ethereum has, when it comes to smart contracts, our system, as we explained, is heavily reliant on smart contracts, and therefore there's a lot happening at once. That information needs to be processed quickly, and that's why Arbitrum 1 is really interesting, because they do most of the calculations on their own network and then port it down to the layer 1, which is Ethereum. It's also future-proofing us when Ethereum 2.0 comes out.
Yeah. And Immutable, I mean, they're coming out of Australia as well. They're actually offering a lot of gas-free solutions for gaming platforms. I'm wondering, you guys looking to work with them down the line?
Yeah, the team in Australia, actually, our team's in Melbourne, and I think Immutable's in Sydney. Great, and very similar to the reasons why we're looking at Arbitrum 1. So, they're a great team there. Anything people are doing to bring down gas fees on Ethereum is brilliant. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you guys read up on Vitalik's, new idea of where to take Ethereum 2.0 in the future, but it's all very interesting and exciting given the fact that there's constant development being made on these mainnets.
Ethereum has by far the most developers in the whole blockchain ecosystem.
Absolutely.
And that obviously creates network effects that are beyond our imagination.
Right, yeah. That's why gas fees are so high now, because so many people are using it, and there's, anytime a new product's being minted, about it because the gas fee jumps up to like $400 or something.
It's crazy. So where do you guys see this moving forward? I mean, where is Helicon going to be the next two to 3 years?
That's a great question. We see a lot of games joining us, and in doing so, a lot more games wanting to join us, because they'll see that the gamers are enjoying playing the games that they know and love, but also benefiting from the assets and being able to trade and sell those. Ultimately, when we release our Helicon Titan game, that in itself is its own project, of course, because we don't want to rush into that. We're going to build that as, up there with the AAA games. We want to make sure it's as fun and as exciting as everyday games. And that's part of the reason why we're doing this, is that for me, gaming is playing a game. Like I'm controlling the avatar. I have to have some skills and all that sort of stuff. And that's why I think what Axie's doing is absolutely amazing. What they've done for the industry is incredible. But just without being able to physically play with the characters, I think is something that's missing at the moment.
Wonderful, yeah. There's always scope for improvement, and that's the whole point. Innovation happens. You always have an initial innovation, and that innovation spurs additional innovation. And it seems like that's what you guys are looking to do here, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
So just the one thing, I want alpha. So if I, as an investor, collector, whatever, want to earn money by investing into the Helicon ecosystem, what's the best way for me to do that?
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, I guess if you're as an investor, obviously there's opportunities. It kind of depends on what level you want to get in on it, and but obviously there's always the liquidity. The pools is an easy win. And the master NFT tokens are obviously a huge value driver for us. So that's one way, right? So we don't want to make it so that or an investment opportunity is available for one group of people and not for the others. That's not the point. We don't want it to be run by whales. The thing is, it should be available to everyone, which is why you can only hold the master NFT for 24 hours. Is so that it can't be monopolized by a few individuals.
And the rewards are released over a 9-day period as well, to stop people from setting up bots that would come in and just try and buy all the master NFTs up, for example.
I like that. Yeah.
So, I mean, the first place to go would be to, once we launch, to join the liquidity pools, to stake in the project, and to then obviously you're rewarded with LP, which you can either use to purchase an master NFT. Obviously, there's a more substantial cost attached to that than just staking, because a master NFT generates a lot of value. But you can also reinvest that LP and generate HDT, right?
But for our listeners who are listening in right now, and they've heard about this exciting project coming out. So you guys are launching properly in the beginning of 2022,
yeah,
right?
We're aiming for the first quarter of 2022 with our full marketplace launch. But however, beforehand with our mystery box, it will be an opportunity for people to get their hands on our token.
Okay.
And obviously, early adopters are always the best rewarded. But
is there going to be like a drop date? There
is, and we'll let you know when it is.
Okay. All right. So
for that, I mean, just join our Discord. I'd recommend for everyone, because we're dropping daily updates in there and we're very active.
Okay. We'll put the link to the Discord in the description.
Yeah, that'll be helpful.
Yeah. We will also be doing a public sale, which will be an opportunity to get on it. We will announce that, I think, close to the time.
Again, that's going to be probably in January, actually. But
wonderful.
We'll confirm that in the Discord as well.
Okay, so listeners, just head to your Discord and pay close attention to what's happening.
Yeah, and any questions you have, we'll welcome them, even if they're tough ones.
Okay, so tell us about next week. What's happening at the Helicon conference?
Yeah, so next week we've got Blockchain World and DCS coming together. It's sort of everything blockchain, just as many people in the industry as possible who add value to the industry and believe in it are going to come down and talk about it. It's very exciting. We have so many things going on. We've got Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street
is
coming down.
Congrats! Congrats on getting him.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it's a really interesting one, considering sort of his opinions on where it started with cryptocurrencies and blockchain and where he is now.
Yeah, now he has a Bored Ape on Twitter or something.
Now he's got his own blockchain projects in the work and everything. So, and I love it. You see some big profile people like Kevin O'Leary as well, who initially was a bit like
skeptical.
Now I think Jordan Belfort's speech is called "From Bear to Bull," and I love that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people that was doubters are now big fans of cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, and that's that FOMO, right? When you see other people doing well, you see projects clicking on, you're like, well, I got to give it a shot.
And it's easy to hate when you're outside and you're not making any profits and you see everyone else doing it.
Yeah, I often see that. People hating on projects. And I'm like, oh, you got burnt before in the past, didn't you, bud?
Yeah. So let's wrap this up. Before we close, we actually like to ask all our guests some rapid fire questions just to get some flesh on you guys beyond just the crypto gaming flesh that you guys have, you know? So
understand who we are.
Yeah. So if you guys weren't doing this, you know, weren't gamers, weren't in the blockchain space, you know, what would you be doing?
I love that question. I've never been asked that on these before. It's great. I would be building classic cars. I would be a mechanic. Absolutely. I mean, I live in New York now with my wife, and we go back and forth from California as well. California breaks my heart because there's a classic car sat on every street rusting. So that's exactly what I would be doing. And I would sell them as an NFT as well.
Love it.
I could see you in Fast and the Furious playing a role there.
It's a little tidbit. I was actually in the Fast and the Furious. When they filmed out here, the 7th movie, I was an extra.
No way.
That's so cool. So have you seen the classic car showroom in Al Circle Avenue?
Oh, yeah. I worked I did a sort of internship because I found it really interesting. A nostalgia classic cars in our cars.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Fantastic people, amazing cars. I got to work on some of the most amazing cars in the world, like Shelby Cobras, and it's just gorgeous.
Cool.
Love it.
Yeah, cool. I actually know a guy. He's putting a lot of his personal cars in that showroom.
I probably worked on a few of them for him.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. You should tell him to stop driving so hard.
How about you, Tim?
Well, I mean, I've probably spent more time gaming than I have sleeping, so, much to the chagrin of my wife. So, and my cats. So, I mean, the thing is, I would probably be working in gaming. The thing is, I love it as a pastime. It's also, you know, it's been really important for me when I grew up, getting through, you know, like hard times. So I know it's sort of gaming is kind of the great equalizer. You don't have to have a lot of money to be a good gamer. You don't have to have much of anything.
True.
You just need the game. And so I think I would probably be working on developing games. The thing is, I don't think games are broken. Games are great. The only thing we're trying to address is the economy around games.
Sure.
So I would probably be in gaming if I'm honest. Where is especially is the $1 million question, but
a lot of our audience would probably relate to that, I think.
Yeah. So another question here. So aside from gaming and in your case mechanics, what's a secret talent you guys have?
Wow, secret talent. I used to be a gymnast, so you know, probably got a few tricks there that I.
Oh wow!
I did not know that.
And I was a singer as well.
You're kidding me!
Yeah.
All these guitars. We should do something.
I saw the tailor straight away.
I have a feeling you should be in the movie industry.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, you know, maybe I'd love to. Maybe we can create some blockchain movies in the future.
How about you? How about you, Tim? Secret talent.
I think it's talking, to be honest.
I haven't noticed.
Yeah.
Not that secret.
No, it's not. I've been known to sell ice to Eskimos. So, like, the thing is, you'll know my talent the moment you get trapped in an elevator with me. Like, so
you'll start serenading anyone around you.
To be honest, my talent is I'm genuinely interested in everything. So if you wanted, you could point out a photo here and we could talk about it for 3 hours. So I think that's probably my talent, is just like being curious, to be honest. It's not especially interesting in some ways because the things I'm interested in are not always interesting. But in other cases...
No, don't discount your interest.
It's just drive and passion, mate. Yeah.
So final question. What's your favorite restaurant in Dubai?
If I get this wrong, my wife is going to kill me. Because we're kind of introverts in the best of times. So we look for a great brunch and we live at those places. I think the best, I don't know, C'est La Vie's food is really good. So the baby chicken, oh my gosh.
C'est La Vie. Yeah.
C'est La Vie is very nice. I'm not a fine dining guy, so I'd probably go with Chili's.
Oh,
Chili's.
I love Chili's.
My wife absolutely loves Chili's. It's just, you know, get the triple dipper.
I grew up with Chili's. I'm with you 100%.
And, you know, in America, you get to drink there as well, so that's awesome. Yeah.
I
love a date night at Chili's.
I've never been to Chili's.
You've not? Oh, mate, you're
the
missing
burgers
out.
are unreal. Unreal burgers. Yeah.
I think I'm completely different. I want something nice. My wife would say, "Where's the prosecco?" And we just like,
there you go.
You know, the thing is, like, for us, like, you know, have a good hour. To be honest, any place where you can just spend an hour with someone and chat and enjoy good food. So,
Awesome.
Yeah.
Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you guys on the Crypto Sheikhs podcast. We are super excited to see where the Helicon NFT project goes over the course of the next year.
So are we.
And we can't wait to be with you guys in Abu Dhabi next week.
Smash it.
We're going to be smashing it. We're going to have a
Looking
great
forward to
time. There's a lot of really great discussions happening. You guys, please come to Abu Dhabi, meet us, say hi. We're going to have a great time. There's going to be a great after party as well, from what I hear.
Absolutely.
And
In the hotel lobby.
Yeah, and if you can't attend in person, you can watch the keynotes and the stage shows online as well.
there's a virtual
there's a virtual
session.
link
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well.
Yeah, this day and age, you kind of have to, don't you?
Yeah,
You can't expect everyone to travel, new variant and all that. Unfortunately, some of our speakers are now attending virtually instead of physically because of the new restrictions in Europe. So it's the world we live in at the moment, and we just roll with the punches.
Yeah, and guys, make sure you come. We're gonna have one other Crypto Sheikh with us. He's gonna be giving trading classes on technical analysis.
I'll be there.
Make sure you're there, and if you're lucky, you might see one of us rap on stage as well.
Oh, wow.
You've told us now. I'm going to go
Yeah.
to the person who's setting up all the stage times and appointments, and that's what's in there. So you guys better start practicing.
Yeah, that's awesome. We'll have a lot more content after the show to show you guys and talk about as well. So very excited by it.
All right, guys. Until the next episode, see y'all soon. Take
Thank you
care.
very much for your time.
Lots
guys.
of love.
Pleasure.
Thanks, guys.